Welcome back to the greatest institute of magical learning in the four kingdoms of Anacra. I, tormented by gnomes, shall serve as your headmaster, game master, dungeon master, host, etc.
Head
Crowan,
unit.
and head unit. Crowan, Leg Day, and Lemon Kiwi are my esteemed guests. Crowan, nice digs. How are things?
Things are good. Been busy moving, but getting situated, getting set up here, and it's good. Missed D&D last week, so excited to be back.
Yes, good. Legs, how are things?
Not in anything as new as Crowan, but still feeling pretty good. Managed to eat something before we started. I'm ready to get magic and then get fragged.
Excellent.
Oh, not that part. Please don't.
Lemon, it's War Crime Wednesday. How you feeling?
Woo! It's Frag or Get Frag Day! Yay! Pretty good. I don't know if you guys saw the recap, but steamy date. It was great.
Steamy.
Okay, I don't know if that was the right word, but it was quite amazing.
We did not do the Ioth Academy beach episode without you guys. Don't worry. Lemon, go ahead.
And talk to your girlfriend, Mr. Mason Mantra, and bad news, but we'll find out today.
Bad news for everyone, or just bad news for Mason in particular?
I don't know. I've already revealed too much.
What does that mean?
Little teaser.
Thank you. I did make you do the recap. All right. When last we left our heroes, after the Battle of Defraxis and the successful rescue of Inril Untermaler and the War Mages and so on and so forth from the underworld having returned, our heroes took some well-deserved rest, by which I mean they immediately started investigating the vanishing of the Dokelfar Sage. They've discovered that she is somehow entangled in, trapped within, on the other side of the gyre, the dimensional pattern that keeps Athalor's home of Onderud suspended between the mortal world and the other world. They've also learned that the Herald of Despair is disembodiedly stalking her, floating around her, trying to attack her, but has been unable to harm her due to her mental protections. But as such, her focus is entirely on protecting herself from the Herald's malevolent presence, and has not responded to any messages or made any efforts that you can see to make her way home. Now, our heroes discussed a couple of possibilities. They tried using the Sage's statue in the headmaster's office to find her. They discussed the possibility of deliberately attracting the Herald's attention in order to give her an opening to make her escape. But other than that, that's all that they've been able to proceed to do. Now, for Crowan and for Leg Day, it is the 13th of Emberheart. It's the 12th of Emberheart. It's effectively Thursday, but your classes have been canceled for a very long time because of all the chaos that's been going on. Garnet is currently in Friday, so I'd like to catch up with her. And she had a conversation with Sventisko today, not tomorrow, if I recall correctly, who wants to talk with Mason. But I want to open the floor to the two of you to see if you have any questions, if there's anything that you need, or if there's anything specific that your characters would want to be doing.
Just getting around to the Sventisko talk, I suppose.
Okay. Before we go into that, was there anything for Athalor?
No, I think Athalor would look to have some kind of normalcy by doing some of his extracurriculars, being the dueling club and theater. Like, you know what? I'm done fighting gods for this week. I'm gonna go do some Shakespeare in the Park because it makes my brain happy.
Roll an insight check for me, please.
Those spears were not shaking at all. They were actually being wiggled by people in black suits.
Good start.
Do you have anything you want to specifically contribute to this insight check? I didn't even tell you that you got a natural one on that. I didn't even tell you what the roll is for yet.
I'm gonna let it ride.
Okay. So you feel extremely self-conscious as everybody's looking at you, whispering about you, talking about you, when you're trying to go about doing your business. Word has spread throughout, you don't know exactly of what, but it's very difficult for you to sink into that normalcy when everybody kind of partially knows that you were involved in the attack on Defraxis, if nothing else.
Hmm. Oh, wait. We have the emotional trait. Is this relevant?
It certainly
man.
could be your call.
I think I'll wait for the Sventisko thing to figure out how Athalor is dealing with all of this possibly negative attention.
Okay. Mantra. As the day ends, you know that Sventisko's been wanting to spend some time with you, had some stuff to talk. She clarified it wasn't a we need to talk. She just had some stuff she wanted to talk with you about. She will go ahead and choose Volch Tabor, the tea house that the Kizjon frequents, as the venue.
Okay.
And she is likely going to be there ahead of you. She's going to be there early. And in that capacity, let's see what she'll bring with her. I'm just seeing if I have Volch Tabor's menu.
The amount of esoterica you have to hold on to as a dungeon master is constantly astounding. Like, on one hand, we have Designer 7's character sheet and all of their mechanical minions, and here is a tea house menu.
You know, what's
Cream buns.
what's a magic school campaign without that, right? All right. She has
Real and true.
She has a cup of sandberry tea, which is harsh, bitter, acidic, but very hydrating in front of herself. And for you, she would have ordered blackroot tal tea, which is bitter and with a cinnamon taste, but it's served hot with honey that cuts the bitterness.
Oh, my favorite. She knows. Yeah, I suppose Mantra would walk in. She'd already be there. I'd order the tea, give her a quick kiss, and sit down and say, "All right, finally, I'm here. We can no more distractions for now. Just you and me. And oh, you got my favorite tea again. Thank you."
She smiles, but is twitching. Her braided ponytail sort of moving back and forth. She's clearly. Also, the light of the pearl has been played, so everybody has advantage on wisdom saves and insight checks until 10 past the next hour in real time. That's how that one works. I don't know.
Gestures to her, give her the floor.
I don't know if I should stay here.
The academy?
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Well, I mean, look at everything that we've done so far, right? All the things that have happened, all the dangers that we have faced, and she reaches up and sort of idly runs her hand down the strand of copper, living copper metal growing out of her head. I just wonder if this is the most important place for me to be right now. I feel like we've already learned a lot more than we could have, than we should have as kids our age. I know we've learned from traveling. I know that the sorcerers of Okarthal are just as knowledgeable as the wizards of the academy. And I know that right now, the world needs me. And I don't want to leave behind the people we're fighting for here. I just feel like there's so many other people I could be helping. I could magnify that impact if I went home.
Mantra just like slowly nods and chews on it. Probably something that she's used to. If it's like a topic that Mantra wants to really think through first, it'll take a few moments. I think you. No, you might be right. This academy has given us a lot and we've learned a lot, but I don't know how much more we can really offer here. It depends on the people, perhaps, like you mentioned, the people leave behind, and if you think that they would be okay without you here, perhaps that impact could be increased, maximized, perhaps. Is that your goal? I assume it is, wanting to do as much as you can and go to the place where you can do as much as you can.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. I feel like I have a responsibility, and it would be negligent for me not to try to wring as much out of that as I can for as many people as I can in the biggest way that I can.
Do you think that you leaving would negatively impact the people here who you've established connections with and have been so integral into the process around here? Perhaps it's kind of hard to know where exactly you'll leave a place or a group of people once you're gone.
She looks at you for a moment and then glances down at the steam rising up from her cup of sandberry tea, and she shakes her head and says, I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of the Kizjan already has complicated feelings about me leaving them. And I know that the refugees, even if they've made it inside the sphere, even if Diffraxis is held at bay right now, I know that their plight is far from over. The thing that we have been trying to get the Academy to do for so long, it's not done. And I think that me leaving would cause some hurt and let some people down.
Yeah.
I just wonder if the net good of it wouldn't be greater for me going back home.
It could be. I think it's one of those things that you could think about for hours, days, weeks, and still really not know until you do it. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. Just whatever feels right to you.
What feels right to you?
For your situation?
Sure.
I mean, I'm not one to try to steer anyone in any particular direction.
What
I
about
think
you then?
for staying here?
Do you think you can do the most good here?
Mm.
Do you think the
Again takes
world
those few moments.
Do you think the world will be a better place if you stay here and continue your studies for the next 2 years? Or if you go back to our people to be a voice for all that we've seen here and to move them to act?
Maybe I've been a bit caught up in what all of it means to be tied into the happenings around here, especially with Garnet and Athalor and Ariana before she left, but it almost feels like it's not about being here, per se, the school studying, it's just around the things that are happening. It feels almost like it's, I don't know, I have complicated feelings about it, obviously, like I told you the other day, but it's like it's almost a necessity at this point that I would be missing out on. Maybe the world missing out on something, I don't know for sure, but I think there needs to be more time here for me. I can't quite say why, it's just a feeling. I don't know how much longer that would be. Perhaps it's only A week, a month, I don't know. Does that make sense?
If I left, would you come with me or would you stay?
Oh.
I would never want to be far away from you for that long, but I think in both of what we do, we see the kind of long term of it. I don't think it has to be some sort of either we're together physically or we're not together at all.
Okay. Give me an insight check with advantage because of the light of the moon. Two dirty 20s.
20.
He got that 20/20 vision into her soul.
Okay. She is feeling hurt. She is feeling conflicted. She is balancing that with a sense of understanding at the same time. So she's like, the hurt is something she's feeling, but it's not something that's driving, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She'll nod and be quiet, and this is her thinking face. You've seen it before. You've seen it plenty of
Yeah.
times.
It's definitely, well, firstly, when are you thinking of leaving? If you were to decide that was what you wanted to do, when would you go?
Tomorrow? Next year? I don't know.
I would want to come with you. I would. I guess I'm just going to be repeating myself, but the same way, if you feel like this is the right thing, I feel like there's something more that I have to do here. But also, I could join you after.
What's the most important thing you've done while you were here, Mantra?
Most important to who? The world or myself?
To you.
Meet you.
She smiles, looks down at her tea for a moment. Okay, now the world.
Maybe this is recency bias, but take out the Phyrexian army. It seems pretty important to the world. We're looking on a large-scale impact kind of way.
Is that what feels the most important? For your part in all of this, in everything?
It feels like it's leading towards something important. That's why I can't kind of shake this feeling at all. Now that I know that I'm wrapped up in it in some regard, it's all just pieces being placed one by one, and I don't know what the picture is yet, and I think I'm just waiting for one to become clear.
Okay. She gives you sort of a wry, almost twisted smile and then reaches over to your hand and squeezes it for a moment before letting go. I haven't made any kind of decision yet. I gotta keep thinking about this.
Yeah, of course. It's a big decision.
I'm not mad. I feel a lot. And I'm gonna be alone tonight to feel all that, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do a lot of thinking about it as well, and my thoughts might change as well. And
Just make sure they're yours.
of course, thank you for bringing this up, talking about it.
Thanks for being here for me. And unless interrupted, she will kiss you goodnight and leave. Her cup of tea still like half full and hot.
Well, Ultra definitely just sits there for a while, and
Mm-hmm.
chews on that conversation, wondering if he fucked up, wondering if they handled it differently, but it just
Said
kind
the
of
most important thing was killing the dragon.
just kind of stays there for a while, thinking about it.
Okay.
Or we get like the sad zoom out scene of like the cafe and fast forward and just Mantra with his tea in the middle by himself.
This is super cut. All
I
right.
think you passed the test.
Is that what the council?
Most of them.
Is that what the council
Council.
thinks?
The council was discussing.
All right. Mantra and Athalor, do either of you have anything else that needs to happen tonight before we move to the next day?
Nothing pressing.
Okay.
Athalor's feeling a little self-conscious, but nothing that needs to be done.
Okay. The next day would be the 13th of Emberheart, 2 days before the mid-month holiday. It is effectively Friday as well. Anacra has 3-day weekends every 2 weeks because, fantasy.
Woo! Pretty fun.
Garnet is out and about and very busy all day long, and neither of you would see her. Is there anything that you would need to add or specify for the day itself?
I think that Athalor is going to attempt to get in contact with Yeldrin about abjuration tutoring.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. He will happily make himself available. He'll even take he'll even bring you to the Tower of Abjuration.
Oh, fancy.
The Tower of Abjuration is it's one of the most heavily defended areas because people practice putting magical wards on things. It's what abjuration is. It's what they do. But it's also the magic of interacting with, manipulating, blocking, counterspelling, dispelling, reinforcing, hiding, everything that has to do with messing with magic itself. So it's one of the most magically complex places on campus. And because of your attunement to the gyre, you feel it's definitely not the same hum. It's not like being at home, but there's a subsonic, non-sonic vibrations throughout the entire structure that you are slightly sensitive to and capable of feeling and experiencing.
It's almost like laced with like the background radiation of just thousands upon thousands of like holding it together abjuration spells. It might not be permanent, but people are practicing them.
Mm-hmm. And the way that they all bounce off of each other and the magical auras that have been deliberately manipulated and so on and so forth. So Miahethil has cleared his schedule for you, and he is the master of the Tower of Abjuration. So he'll welcome you up into his office. It's the same room in the floor plan as Master Redknop's office, but it's much cleaner. It doesn't have that warm, cozy feeling that the Ember Dwarf had before he was replaced and killed. It's very, very on Darude, extremely on Darude vibes. And the windows are all like open, so it's very light and airy. Silvers, blues, minimalist in some ways. A few pieces of beautiful art, a lot of metal sculpture. It reminds you of the tree structure that was down in the basement where Lamriel was experimenting. It clearly derives from some of the same principles, but it's much less brutalist in its formation. There's traces of sky steel and mithril, lots of different wards and runes and stuff, but they aren't active. They're just sort of hanging on the wall almost as decoration. They've all clearly been carefully crafted. And roll an Arcana check for me.
Okay. No whammies, no ones this time, please.
A 21. They can all be activated as needed, but they're all like dormant. Basically, he's got the entire tower rigged not to explode, but to, put down lockdown
He's
mode.
got like a magical piano on the go.
Yeah. And I don't have anything specific that he would say, any particular dialogue, except that he'd be very accommodating. He's a very patient teacher. He is brilliant. What's your intelligence score, Athalor?
19 or 14, but I have the headband of intellect.
Ah, okay. Well, the headband is much closer to where he's about. He's got a 20 like Garnet does. So he's got the big brain energy, and he will calmly lead you through things and can tell that you have a knack for it and you understand a lot of the basics. But the fact that you've been practicing this almost psionic magic that wells from your uncle for so long, and then moving into runes, has taken you down a different academic and magical path. And so he's not treating you as a novice. He's going pretty straight for the complex ins and outs of abjuration. And he'll make as much time for you as you'd like.
Well, I thought it was very much trying to just like batten down on the basics, things that he will be able to master by himself with sufficient like recommended reading to not take up too much time.
Well, again, he, especially after that last conversation that he had with you up in the barracks via message spells, has made it subtly, in that sort of aristocratic, majocratic way, that he is entirely open to assisting you however needed. Roll an insight check with advantage, please.
No ones. Okay.
And he means it, though it's sincere, but also there's an angle to this. Not like a hostile to you angle, but he has a vested interest in your success in the field of abjuration.
There's
He's
something to be gained here.
Yeah, there's something to be gained here, and it's very important to him.
Okay.
All right, keep doing that during your downtime. You might get some goodies out of it.
Go me.
Mantra, what do you do for the day?
Honestly, probably do a lot of just like going through the routine of like whatever necessities, but would just kind of just be mostly just taking it easy, thinking, doing this meditation, just kind of similar to like Concept Athalor and trying to have a kind of normal day, but yeah, just a lot of like keeping to himself.
Okay. Garnet, I believe we left you midnight or mid-morning?
We were finishing up, midnight studies, so I guess morning or
Okay. So
whatever.
you would have woken up this day that we're all in now together at whatever time. Roll a Constitution saving throw. No, don't. Do not roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
I got fucked up.
What the?
got lit.
You got litty?
The Fae gave me booze. What teenager says no to alcohol without an adult around?
So, but yeah,
Doesn't a Jaeger bomb?
you also took your medicine, so you have absolutely no hangover whatsoever. So what time does your day start? And now that I've realized this, you could all do breakfast together before these things happen. That is up to you if you want to make breakfast a scene or if you want to gloss over it.
Whenever they're done, I'm down to meet up with them.
Okay, so in the evening, after Athalor has like peeled himself out of Mia Hethil's office, even though, he's like, whatever, I'm an elf, I barely sleep. You need to go through to the night, that's fine, I'll make time. and Mantra's been taking it easy all day, would one of you three organize the meet, or would it just sort of organically happen at dinner?
I live next door to Garnet. So the second that like coming back, just like because I haven't seen him like knock on her door like Garnet?
Opens it. Hey, is Mantra with you or no?
Unless somebody went to go find him, it'd probably just be drilling.
Opens the door.
Hey.
Oh, it's you. I was expecting someone else. Oh,
Am I
Athalor.
interrupting some very trepidatious waiting?
No, I went on the greatest date of my entire life and wants to go and tell you the details, but sees that Mantra isn't here and well, I don't want to say this all twice. And I want to know what you guys are up to. So let's go collect Mantra.
Yeah, we should all give date feedback. Oh no, that sounds wrong. It was entirely academic invitation. Let's go find Mantra.
Okay.
Yeah, much probably just be in his room. Opens up the door. Oh, hey guys.
Hello, it's
What's,
date feedback time. I mean, hi.
Or which one of you? Figured
How is
items.
Mantra looking? Is he like normal or what's the mood when we see you?
Pretty normal looking. Maybe just like a little more quiet, a little more reserved, but nothing like crazy.
Okay. Well, date feedback for me. And I talked to Sven. I don't know if she stopped by to say hi to you or what. I don't know what we should do first. Athalor, did you go on a date? If not, then we can just talk.
Yeah, you two just. Well, I didn't go on a date. I just had a lesson. It was one-on-one, but not a date.
Okay. That needs to be explored by an adult.
You have those all the time.
That's true. That's true.
Mhm.
So did Sven come by yet?
We talked. I assume you know what it was about. By the way, you're bringing this up.
Like she mentioned she was gonna talk to you about her future elsewhere, and I,
Indeed.
supported her. I did try to encourage her to stay here because I think we all like her here and could use her here, but she was very adamant. So I don't know what she ended up with.
Undecided, but talked it over.
Sven wants to leave again?
Again.
Like leave. Not just like stop taking classes, but leave the academy entirely. The short of it is that thinks that well, she could make more of an impact being back in Athalor.
Doing what? Turning invisible?
And other things.
What other things?
She's got she got a blessing from a dragon god. So
Yeah, just
that seems
helping
important.
people generally. It's kind of what the goal has been for these past few years. And, well, the academy, I suppose you can only do so much of that here.
And how do you feel about all that?
I support her. I think if she feels that she'll have more of a impact, influence elsewhere, then she should do it. I think those very important to her when she feels like something is right to do it. She had mentioned the possibility or asked me the possibility of me coming with her.
You you
Oh,
don't plan on leaving.
like moving in together?
Um, I don't know how that would like logistically actually.
Can you
But
live with someone from Bartholo or someone from the other tribe? Is that normal? People mingle freely between them?
I don't
Yes.
know personally. Yes. Okay.
There's
Yeah,
no taboo
normal.
against it. There's no taboo against it, at least.
Is it like a common thing? I would assume it wouldn't be common, but
It's
feel
not
like
common
EU.
largely because of distance. Just,
yeah.
geography.
So, yeah, not a common thing by any means. They're also spread apart, but it's not frowned upon or anything. But to answer your question, I don't think I would go. Not right now, at least. Maybe later, but I don't even know how to describe this. I tried doing it with her, and I think I failed miserably earlier. Um, Ever since I've gotten involved with you both and the things that we're doing, I feel like it's all working towards some sort of big goal, a culmination of something. Do you both have that feeling? Either of you have that feeling?
Yeah, like we all have a purpose.
But yes, but a purpose that the things that you've done so far are just leading up to the big purpose. Like sure, you've done a lot of very cool, powerful, impactful things, but like it's still leading to something else.
I talk about like the weird design stuff, are you?
I think this is the weird design stuff.
Oh shit.
Yes,
Oh.
I do feel like our grouping has, for want of a less pompous word, some cosmic significance.
Yeah. I don't know why I wasn't thinking of that in terms of the design stuff before. That's weird. I don't like that. But yeah, probably has something to do with that. That's why I just I didn't know if I would be able to leave quite yet.
And if you did leave, you'd only be dragging the attention of machine prints and others to far less secure locations and far less safe people.
That's true as well.
And it would be irresponsible to not finish your studies.
That too, can you read?
What? He
What?
can read
Oh,
runes.
No, I'm messing.
Oh,
I don't know how much I really think that's being irresponsible, especially because we don't even have typical classes anymore. Well, at least us.
I think the classes have been disrupted for a lot of people as well. Certainly a lot more shift towards being geared less for academia and more for defense. A lot of the regular students have come under attack multiple times during the last year.
Mm-hmm.
Feels so strange to think that Terra Nimbus attacked this year.
well, I
It feels like
personally
a,
like the hands-on work, and we could all get away from books, right?
I think that's precisely why Sven wants to leave.
I like books.
I do too. Well, if Sven got blessed by the dragon god, I can't think of a better calling than that. And I told
Exactly.
her if she feels ready and capable to make a difference, I tried to encourage her to maybe stay longer here so she could learn and get more skills to be more helpful. Um, but she sounded like she wanted to go sooner rather than later.
I think she feels that she's developed enough skills. Trying to stay here and learn more wouldn't be as time efficient, I suppose, than applying the ones she's already learned to the real world. And like she mentioned, there's very powerful people in Ocarthal as well. Obviously, the academy is designed to teach, but I think with the work Sven wants to do, she would pick up just as much knowledge, if not more potentially. I don't know.
I feel like in the great calculus of this all, Sven would have much more chance to defeat the evils that threaten so many more innocent people by staying here. This place does attract them, for better or worse. But I think that Sven's internal calculator often looks more towards helping one person she can look in the eye than the many intangible.
Don't know if I quite agree. I think a big part of her points during the conversation is that she does want to do the most good. She recognizes she could help here, but
If she
I
wants
don't
to do
know.
the most good, then here is the best chance she'll have to defeat one of the major evils facing our entire world. We've already done that. Twice. Could you not be faced with the evidence of corrupted dragon gods and armies that would pillage thousands of miles of land and think that that's not a greater good on the cosmic calculus than helping some refugees? And I'm for helping the refugees. But in terms of helping the most people, we've been more effective.
I did say that children without a lot of magic skills were probably in more danger than her tribe who are protected by dragons, but she felt like it was the impact that she could make rather and where that impact can be made than the number or people she's helping, if that I understood. She wants to help everyone, but where she could do
Yeah,
that best was her concern. From what I understood.
yeah. I appreciate the
Sorry,
perspective.
I
No,
don't want you to be left without that.
I appreciate it. I don't know. I've been thinking all day about it, but I'm probably going to be thinking about it for much longer. At the end of the day, I mean, it's going to be her choice, and I don't know if I personally want to really sway her one way or the other. I mean, she's not one to be easily swayed. I think she had. Actually, I don't know. She had mentioned something about the Kishan, but I don't actually remember in what way. I don't know.
Well, they didn't like her for a period. Did she disappear on them without saying anything before?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perhaps it might be time to remind her that the best people don't form habits of betraying people that they really care about twice. Maybe you shouldn't be the one to say that.
Good news from that conversation, though. We kind of talked about Brontha and Bathotlo and how we may be going in a positive direction with reparations and forgiveness and healing and rebuilding.
That's good to hear. What kind of steps were you taking, for both of you?
Well, I was gonna help financially rebuild a lot of what was destroyed, and I think that was at least the first step, but she has to go back and kind of figure out what they want and what needs to be done. But that she had my support and whatever the leadership at Fronta thinks, that I would be by her side and I would try to influence them to fix what has been broken and hope that I can be in a position to prevent any such violence ever again. And we sounded like we got to a good place in that conversation. So, good news.
That's great. That's amazing. Thank you for doing this. It's very important to her and, well, I mean, all of us, really.
And even better news, I went on a date with Cyrus and he made like this lamb thing, and then we went through a dance, and then we kissed like so many times, and his arm, and then she just starts rambling about the day.
The bomb's gonna be pissed.
What do you mean, Pabam? He's the one who was like, "Oh, the past is behind us," and I was like, "Oh, like we were happy once," and I was just trying to like see where his head was at about everything, and he was kind of like, "Oh, the past is the past," and I got to do some night stuff, and I really took that as he's not
I
into me,
mean,
so I
girl,
took that as green flag.
Cyrus is hotter anyway.
Girl, girls, truth. True.
Did he really say past was in the past, meaning like the whole betrothed thing, and then he's not thinking about that anymore?
I mean, I didn't ask like directly. I just kind of told him how
So-
happy I was when he was in my life and we were together, like in a sort of
Oh,
like
but
open.
as in,
vague
you were
way.
happy when you were with me and we were together, and therefore we're nothing?
Shut up, Athalor. This isn't about you.
I-
Okay.
I mean, no, it's not, but I am someone with a basic sense of language, and that feels like the opposite of what you said.
You're different. I was just leaving it really vague of like, hey, we were happy together and I missed that maybe. And
You said you missed
Maybe.
that.
I said I missed that life, which happened to have him in it. Like I just
Oh.
like I threw it out there.
You're a genius. You're a
That's not
fucking
a
moron.
move. I'm not a fucking moron. He could have interpreted that as anything he wanted, and if he wanted something, he could have interpreted that as something. But if he wanted to be friends, if I was friend zoned, then he would say that as friends. And he was like, "Oh, that past that we had is gone and is in the past." So he didn't be like, he wasn't like,
Do you
"Oh
think
yeah, I missed that
he's
too."
going to tell the betrothed heir to Brontha the past is in the past, and we're nothing?
He didn't say we're nothing. He just said like that. Everything all the nice things I just said don't really matter. He wasn't like into that whole memory lane thing I was doing. He sounded very much into his night stuff, which doesn't involve me. So
Seeing the few times I've seen you around him or him around you, I feel like I don't know if that's like quite believable. Like he seemed. Are you sure he wasn't just saying that to be polite, or someone else was in the room or something, or like I don't understand.
what did
Doesn't
you
really
see?
line up.
What,
No, I
what-
didn't say anything. I'm
do you have that look? Did you
What
like
does
see
your
a
mom
look?
think of him?
Well, she loves him. He's the squire, the little
Has she
squire
met
boy.
Cyrus?
I'm not gonna tell my mom about every boyfriend that I have, Athalor. That's weird.
I don't know. You guys talk sometimes.
Yeah,
I take
sometimes
it
like never.
You had a lot to catch up on, and you prefer to say, "Oh, there's a cute Bronthan boy at my school," rather than, "Oh, I'm communicating with the infinite powers of Eldritch Darkness."
Well, I think she was more concerned about the Eldritch Darkness than boys at my school. you know,
Mom thinks.
yeah. Also, I don't know.
know.
I like showed my void stuff to Pavan thinking,
What?
yeah,
oh,
and he, kind of pushed me away not long after that. So I don't know if those two things are related.
they might be.
Cyrus know about that?
Well,
The weird stuff, not the
you know
Pavan.
what's stupid about him is I told him like
Stupid about
5 different
who?
times during the date. I was like, ask me anything, anything in the entire world you want to know. I will tell you. Honesty moment. And he didn't want to ask about Povom. He didn't want to ask about anything. He asked like why I got kidnapped, which is like the most like dark shit we could talk about on a date. But then I did tell him about Povom, and I was like,
Wait,
the
did you
thing's
tell him
called
why
us.
you got kidnapped? Did you tell him that it was a plot by Merrick to force you into? Did you tell him the truth when he asked that?
I don't remember all the details, but I
Because as far as I can remember, it's a pretty
told him
up tale.
I told him that Merrick was Horn, and he was very stunned.
Did you
Huh?
killed him?
I told him he's dead.
Oh dear.
It feels like your honest answers are somewhat
then-
brief.
I said I was honest.
So you gave him the floor to ask you anything, and then you got mad at the questions he asked?
No. I just think there was an elephant in the room called Pevom, and he didn't want to like ask about the elephant.
Wait,
Has he met Pevon?
yeah, does he know? Like, how much does he actually know about Pevon?
Like
You
he's
just
a
assumed that he
normal
knew,
guy
but he
from
actually
Brontha,
didn't?
right? Does he know all the squires?
Everyone knows about Pevom and I.
Everyone knows about Pevon and you. And why would he take you on a date?
That's what I asked. So I was like, okay, by the way, like you didn't ask this, but Pevom and I, it's not like a thing in case you gave a shit. And he was like, oh, well, I don't think you can just like call those things off. And I said, who
So
says?
right.
And I said, who says? I was like, the circumstances have kind of changed. And and I was like, if you believe in those traditions, why would you take me on a date and kiss me? And he was like, true. So we just ended up like kissing more. And so
What?
problem solved?
No, not problem
No?
solved.
Why not?
Problem avoided.
I mean, because we are currently talking about this problem and you don't appear to be kissing Cyrus right now, so it doesn't fix every iteration of this coming up.
Well, I can't be with him 24/7.
Well, we'll see.
Well, he didn't ask me to move in, unlike somebody who got the question.
Why?
Yes, Cyrus.
Why are we deflecting right now? No, this is back to this. Back to the Cyrus bit. I think that is definitely a question that needs to be. Well, I mean, it depends on where you want to go with all of this. I don't know. Do you want to date Cyrus? Be with him?
Like forever or like now?
I mean,
For now until however long in the future?
Let's just say that until you decide you no longer want to be with him, that you wouldn't be with anyone else.
So forever or like
Well,
at what point do you decide that?
I don't know. When did you decide that you didn't just want to be with Pavam?
I didn't think about that, and he apparently isn't thinking about it either. So if we all just moved on,
Mhm.
I don't see how this happens anytime soon.
But just think about you and Cyrus potentially moving on. Could you go until that?
Why would we? Why are you predicting that we're breaking up already? Well, we're not even together, but why are you predicting the breakup before we even get together?
At the risk of sounding corny, he's an alchemist. Maybe you'll run out of chemistry.
That was very corny.
Shut up.
Yep. Anyways, moving on from that, this all is based on the understanding that you're assuming your vibe that you got from Pevom is correct. If it's not, and you start seeing Cyrus getting more serious, and Pevom pokes his head back in and says, hey, you can't just ignore that anymore.
Well, he should revisit that conversation and correct the things he said because he did not drop a green flag means go betrothed. He said, whoa, I have something different going on right now. And he didn't exactly point at me and say it's you.
Oh, is Pavam cheating? Wait, can you
But
cheat?
you can't be cheating on me if I don't care.
I don't know if that's. It depends on how Fronta feels about it, right? If you're like betrothed, and are there like
Do you have rings?
societal expectations
No.
attached to
What?
that?
I don't know. You guys are gaslighting me right now and making this
No, we're
really
asking
serious.
questions, and
Yeah.
you're only you're in control of this reality because we have no idea what the is going on.
Cyrus is just really pretty and good at
Mhm.
kissing.
Yes,
Mhm.
It
I don't
makes
know.
great food.
Mm-hmm.
Dresses nice.
Okay,
Likes me a lot.
evidently.
And doesn't know anything about me, which is amazing.
What do you? I don't believe that, do
Apart
you?
from the Pavam thing, he knows that.
Well, yeah. I told him, ask me questions, and he said, how'd you get kidnapped? And
Yeah, probably because
that's
he
it.
knows that he's mad about you, and that's the nitty gritty stuff
Ha-
that he doesn't.
How did he respond about the whole Myrick thing?
Well, he was very stunned.
Uh-huh.
And I tried to move on from the subject as quickly as possible in order to not ruin the vibes of the date.
Okay. Just as a friend, I really want you to be with someone who doesn't think that part of you is worth, exterminating.
Oh, he did ask me if I was okay like 3 times.
That seems positive.
Yeah, very caring.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if he
Thumbs
believed
up.
in that whole betrothed stuff, if he didn't believe my story, I don't think he'd be all up kissing
In
me.
your mouth.
Yeah, my mouth. So,
Kisses, how do they work?
Just for my clarity's sake, this whole betrothed thing, is that like a Fronta expectation that still like happens?
getting into the technicals that I haven't even really
Okay.
addressed.
All right. I feel like that's an important kind of part of
If it did
understanding
happen,
here.
would you have to invite Cyrus?
Will you stop?
That would.
I think the
Ella,
whole me getting kidnapped by a fucking dragon void dude
He could
and
do
the
the
Infernals
catering.
killing my dad might have like interrupted a lot of the I don't know, ceremonial shit.
True. But now they've got you back.
Do they though? I'm here.
True.
So wait, you guys want me to be with Pavon, but you just said that Cyrus is cuter.
No. Cyrus is cuter.
I want you to be with whoever you want to be with.
The bomb's a weenie.
Don't you say that.
That's kind of mean.
Mantra's the one who failed his test, and I'm getting grilled like I failed mine. Like I didn't just make out with Cyrus like the whole time.
Wait, it was a test?
Yeah, you said you failed, didn't you?
I'm. You know, I get how you can think that. Yeah.
Are you
Something
gonna
like that.
do something nice with Sventisko to try and, keep her here?
I don't want to keep her here for me. If she wants to stay, I want it to be because she wants to stay. I don't want to be selfish in that way.
Maybe she's looking for an excuse to stay for both of you rather than leave for herself. The Academy's not going to be full of people that she can savior, but it is full of you.
Yes.
Well, selfishly, of course, I would love if she went home because she could kind of help the Athalor brought the unification, at least reparations, while be more helpful while she's there, and having positive influence over this all going very smoothly. But I also don't want her to go selfishly, so
Which one do you want more?
I want her to stay. But
Okay.
she didn't listen to me.
Now, this is a big, important decision for her. Usually, when she has something in her mind and is thinking about it, she'll end up doing it. And when she's set on that, then nothing can really change her mind. I don't think she's quite at that point yet where she's convinced, but
How hard have you tried to change her mind before?
never really.
Oh, what an excellent pool of data to learn from.
Fair. That is a bit of a biased perspective from me. But even seeing her interactions with others, I know there are people who do try to, influence her in that way.
Athalor's gonna walk over and just clap his hands on Mason's shoulders. Mason,
Yes, what?
are you in love with her?
Of course, yes.
How
Did
many
you
of those
tell her?
previous people you mentioned were in love with her?
None.
Do a nice thing. Ask her to stay. Worst thing she says is no, come with me. At which point, you can make that decision. But she has a bigger reason to stay than before. And you need to see if you can, not only for you, but also for her. Because guess what? It's safer here right now.
True. Wait, no, it is not. But yes,
are
it
not
is.
loving.
Sorry, yes. Dumb.
Mhm. Honestly, I don't know where's safe anymore. Honestly, if it could be not safer there tomorrow than it is, who knows?
What could not be safer than guy with brain demon and girl who is demon?
Exactly.
I feel like that was a rhetorical question, so I'm going to respond in kind.
I'm just saying, this could be a great opportunity for you to just show Sventisko how much it means that she's here with you.
I- Maybe you're right. I love her and I want to be with and around her. I think I don't know, I can't help but the feeling of just being selfish. I don't want to stop her from doing what she feels is right. And I could I don't want it to be a situation where I'm like, hey, I want you to stay here, and she has mixed feelings about it, but ultimately decides to stay, and then she feels like, oh, I should have left. I could be doing more out there. I don't want that to be on me.
Well, this is the test that you failed the same way Pavam failed, where girls want to feel wanted. They want to feel like you want them there. And when I said, hey, I like us, maybe happy life, and he was like, "Eh, that wasn't communicating, I want you here." Did at some point Sven ask you anything about maybe hinting for you to say that she wants you to say that you want her here? Did you How much did you communicate that you want her here? Did you make her feel wanted?
Uh, uh, Maybe not. No.
That's bad. That's bad.
Listen, in the end, though,
Yeah.
the choice will always be hers. And, I mean, take it from me, you can be happy that someone's moved on to something that makes them happy, but you'll also regret not telling them that they were great to be around in the first place.
No, you're right. You're right. I should, at the very least, say that, and I think there's a way that I can, without being too pushy about it, but just pushy enough. I know, Garnet, that's an important thing, is to
Slightly pushy.
slightly pushy, but not too much. Finding the balance there.
Did you
Is there a
tell
too
her
much,
you
Garnet?
loved
Do you
her?
feel it? Yeah.
Did you tell her?
Of course, yeah.
You said, I love you. I want to be with
Actually,
you.
oh, okay, well, not quite like that.
I'm glad we're here together.
All right, these are things, even if no matter what way I said them, I should say them in a more meaningful, different way when we talk again.
If you get betrothed, she's contractually obligated to stay.
Is
Unless she gets kidnapped by...
Unless she gets kidnapped, which we would not wish that, Athalor, on anyone.
I know, but it's just too good a parallel.
yeah,
But if you
crazy if
leave
that
on
were to
Brexit
happen.
terms.
Hmm.
Add to the list of things I'm tracking are courtship rituals for the Auryx and Athalor tribes.
Nice. Okay, all right. Thank you both. This is good. This is good.
Leans over to Athalor. Sculpt the ring. Make it. Like copper or some shit.
I miss Ariana's jewelry making. And Ariana.
Oh, one more thing about the whole wanting girls feeling like, you want someone to want you. Is that ever like too much? Does someone ever like come on too strong about that and it's weird?
Generally, it's less weird when you're already in a relationship, Mason.
Generally, but that does mean there's
You've cleared the
exceptions.
bar, really, on this one.
But you said generally, right? That means there are exceptions.
True. Okay. Don't walk up to Nairobi and tell her that she's the light of your life and that her staying in the academy means everything. That would be overstepping and weird.
Yeah, of course.
I think you should fear more not doing enough than doing too much. And at least match the vibe. And if she asks a
Okay.
question, say how you feel and hope for the best.
Okay. I feel like that's
yeah,
how what
Garnet's
got me
right.
here.
Like,
But-
you'll regret not doing anything more than you'll regret doing too much. Not that you'd possibly regret either of them. If you could make them stay, then you might feel happier even just being around the person you're in love with most days. Seems like a positive for your life. Yeah. You don't want to let someone slip away because you didn't do enough.
I get it.
Sounds like you both have a lot to think about and maybe more to say. So
Plenty
let
more to
both of
say.
you digest all of that,
Hmm.
and we can move on to something else. I don't know. What do we have to do today? I'm
Knock, knock, knock. Are you inside one of the rooms, or have you been having this entire conversation out in the
I think we're
hallway?
in Mason's room.
yeah.
Okay. Well, then no knock, knock, knock on that regard.
Oh, fuck Mason.
Yeah, what is there to do today? I don't know. We're not currently
Save the
in.
sage from the
Oh,
the Herald.
Yeah, and just that
that's true.
legendary tier peril.
There's
You
some
know.
Fae partying too.
It's what with the horn of the glug?
No, but I want to get that from Elle now.
That sounds like the most pointless heist in history.
Yeah,
Good
because she
practice.
kind of wasn't opposed to giving it to me. So
That sounds
Oh.
irresponsible.
Little bit, not
I
a bit.
think it's a reward for all my hard work.
To get drunk
He-
as a child,
I'm not a child.
I mean, they served us,
teenager.
Yeah.
wine and brontha, right?
Yeah,
Maybe she thinks that we're culturally ready.
yeah. I shouldn't have. No one taught me not to accept drinks from Faye, though.
I've forgotten most of the rules about Faye. That seems bad.
Something about don't give them your name. I think is the big
True.
one.
Oh, Kraius, I think, finished the deal with the fuck 'em.
At that moment, you can loudly hear the fuckum anthem playing from Kraius' room, but this has been a repeat occasion for the recently. But it's sort of distorted and slowing down like a machine.
Sounds like
Like
an
that.
illusion on the fritz.
Yeah, yeah.
He hasn't been staying in his room. He has like this weird creepy lair, and he's kind of got writing on the walls. But maybe we should go.
Did you say creepy lair?
Yeah, and like the Undercroft. I went there. It was really gross. It was through
In the Undercroft?
like near it somewhere. I don't know. I was kind of drunk, but
Like wherever you said you were drunk in the Undercroft?
I know.
Was this last night?
Yeah.
Did you take Cyrus?
Crazy night.
No.
Did you meet some redcaps?
No.
How did you get down there?
A hole in the
A
ground.
hole! Elaborate, please.
I don't remember. We could just go ask him. He's maybe a couple doors down.
A hole?
I don't know. I will maybe roll an intelligence like day to remember where the hole is. Well, it was 2 drinks in.
Go for it.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, if you want. 20. Yeah, so his lair was in the same dumping vent that you used to get to the Undercroft in the Great Hall in the alchemy lab where they dump failed experiments, except that there's like a little side passage in that. So he never made it all the way to the Undercroft, but it was on the way.
We can just do a little drive-by of his room, see if he's there, and then I can show you the creepy lair.
Sure, I want to see a creepy lair. Did you know that Kraius is deathly afraid of rats?
No.
Is he? Mm-mm.
Ariana and I found that one out.
I'll remember that.
Yeah, just thought I'd drop that little tidbit in.
As we
Fun.
walk by Kraius' room.
Heading over to Kraius' room, you see a number of Fuckum members cleaning up glitter and some party streamers along the sides of the room, and a recurring illusion spell is being dismantled. They are taking down the things that were placed because Kraius would not fulfill their deal.
Hey, where's Kraius? Are you guys-
As some of his legal counsel, can we look upon the contract?
You're gonna have to run that by our people with their people who have people. We'll submit a formal complaint. We expect that to be fulfilled sometime in the next 6 to 275,000 hours.
So are you guys taking this all down? Like, you guys are good now? Peace and love?
I mean, good, whatever, but yeah, he did the thing.
Ah,
Okay. Let's go find Kraius then.
give
Yeah.
him the good insight check.
Roll it.
With advantage.
Nope,
with
that
advantage.
expired like
Oh,
3 minutes
Oh,
ago.
that's okay.
No!
That's all right.
It's
We take the
bad.
first roll, we take the 11. You're not totally certain what it is. Give me an investigation roll if you're looking for where he is. Because he obviously left his lair if he was going to fulfill his contract. 20. Okay. You actually find him in the archives. You remember that room with all the student records and stuff? There's a clerk on duty there, and you find him in there, looking somewhat bags under his eyes, hair completely clean, but you can tell that's like he prestidigitated himself that way, and he's furiously filling out paperwork.
Perception check to see what kind of paperwork it is.
Sure, roll. Something about a transfer.
Ah,
Hey, Kraius.
Oh, Garnet, feeling better today?
I have always felt great.
Good,
How are
great.
you?
Good, fantastic.
What are you
Which-
working on?
I am submitting a request for transfer from Tarselmoor Hall.
Oh. To where?
Literally any other chapter house.
I should probably give you the information, but the Fae started dismantling the stuff outside your dorm.
Yes. Yep. Gave them what I agreed to pay them.
Which was you're leaving Tarselmoor?
Nope. Doesn't matter. Didn't matter. None of it mattered. Could have been entirely avoided.
Who are you mad at?
Hmm?
Why are you so mad? Everything is solved.
It's really not.
What's wrong?
Ioth is still gone. The sage is gone. Everything that's left of Luminius and the legacy of his travels is in danger of falling into a precipice. And I don't have time for any of this nonsense. I have serious work to do. The Codex has serious work to do, and me staying here is just going to be a distraction.
I'm going to use
will.
my on-command detect thoughts to see what's in his head.
Okay. Was going. He is thinking about when he came up to the two of you in disguise and both of you sold him out and mocked him in the dining hall the other day.
Athalor telepathically bonds with the other two and gives them the information that we may well have up a little bit.
Oh.
You remember when you mega gaslight him at the breakfast table?
Okay. And he like forgot my birthday and was super mean to me ever since all this mirror shit came around. Cares more about Ioth than me. Why would I have to be nice to that?
Where would you rate yourself on where you should rate on the things he cares about?
I should be really important to him.
Why?
Above
Because
Ioth?
I am. The
He's
fuck?
like looked up to Ioth for his whole entire life. Like,
Yeah, but I'm alive.
This is all punctuated by the sound of his quill, like, scribbling on the paper, because this is all mental. Carry on.
I don't know what to say to that one.
Correct, but arsehole.
Okay, well, I care about people that are alive. So,
Is Henan transferring too?
You asked that out loud, right?
Yes.
What? No, of course not.
And how are you going to lead the Codex from anywhere else?
We'll meet. There's a lot of different facilities. Do you ever get out of this place? No, of course you do. Yeah. No, there's plenty of places. We'll meet. We'll correspond. Efficiency will quadruple.
Quadruple. That's ambitious. But I guess you'll.
Efficiency will resume its original capacity. How about that? Less ambitious.
Yeah. You're gonna have more time not dodging Bay stuff now.
Yes. Right. Nobody
That's
there
good.
knows me.
Well-
Hopefully it is a good change. Happy for you, if assuming it is.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
well, what about us? We can't be neighbors if you leave.
That's right.
I suppose it's an opportunity for you to potentially even open another chapter house of the Codex,
If the people there can be trusted.
if they can be trusted.
Yes.
Gonna grab his chair and spin him around so that he faces us. Can we talk out loud about what's going on? Can we be honest? Like, what is going on with you?
I don't get along with people. I don't get along with you. You treat me poorly. Everyone here treats me poorly. Nobody here likes me. So I'm leaving. So I don't have to deal with that. So I can focus on what matters to me, which is Ioth's legacy and the fate of magic itself and the practice of magic in the realm, which has always, always mattered to me.
Don't you have any self-responsibility about what you put out into the world as well? Like how you treated me at my birthday? And how you care more about Ioth than the Codex or your friends?
The Codex is about Ioth. And my friends are the people who respect that. And me. Garnet.
How do you respect me if you even say happy birthday and you cared more about mirror magic than that?
None of our stupid birthdays matter. We are under attack. The last thing that matters is a stupid birthday.
Athalor looks over to Mason.
If I could I say a couple of words? I
My
think-
birthday alone saved thousands of fucking lives. Your birth so far got a fucking girl put in a fucking mirror.
Which apparently
So-
doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
So I'm going to go focus on things that matter. That already happened. That thing that happened, that was a good thing. It happened. That doesn't mean that I need to take time every single year when I could be spending that time figuring out how to protect all of us from everything that's happened this year, Garnet. That's what matters.
Oh, so you care about protecting people you don't actually care about.
Yes,
Yeah, because I trust that.
I don't need you to trust that. I don't care.
We're in the records room, right?
The scribe who's like the clerk who's helping with all this like stood up and went to go get something out of the back.
I'll be right back.
It's just like fuming, like angry stance over Kraius, trying to think of the next thing to say to him.
Garnet, roll an insight check, please.
He appears angry.
He is over you.
Oh.
Wow.
No one's
What does that
over
even
me.
mean?
That's it. That's a vibe. He used to hang on your every single word. He's over it. He does not care what you think about him.
In the meantime, Athalor's went into his room and he's got into the 20% of Arth's treasure and got one of the nice little cloaks that are in the wardrobe. And we'll return at a dramatically convenient point.
Mantra wants to jump in. There'll be a moment of death staring.
I think it's very apparent that all of us have things that are important to us and that we care about, and so it feels strange if someone else doesn't share those same things because they're so important to you, right? Say for like Garnet, tradition, birthdays, things like that are very important. For Kraius, it's, well, I mean, Ioth, the Codex, and I think it shouldn't be so much about saying, oh no, you should care about what I want to care about more, but respecting that we're all going to differ in that way. We're all going to have things that are more important to us, and you don't have to really go out of your way too much, I guess, if you don't want to, but at least acknowledging that, I think, is enough sometimes.
I guess like her face will go from just angry, very angry, to just very sad quickly. Still looking at Kraius, but taking in what Mason said. And we'll just kind of shakily say, Kraius been my closest friend at the Academy for years. One of the few people I've trusted and that I truly believed cared about me. I was angry because you stopped showing that. And whatever, if this is what matters to you, then fine. I'm just telling you why I was angry. I don't accept being treated poorly. But if that's what you want to do, then fine. I will see you at the Codex meetings. She'll turn around and walk wherever the direction Athalor went. And if he's coming this way, she will walk past him.
Okay. That is probably when the two of you would pass.
All done?
Doesn't say anything, keeps walking. Very sad.
He's like holding one of our like luxurious like cloak robe things. Hold on. Thinks for a moment and then steps into the records room. Is Mason still talking with?
Just would wait to see if Kraius would say anything or like his reaction to what Garnet had said.
I don't think he would have time to fully respond before Athalor enters, especially because he's gonna sit with that for a moment.
Yeah, he's just kind of like chewing on those words. Okay.
When you envisioned the Codex for the first time, it wasn't so much an obituary or a memoriam as it was a conscious upholding of some ideals. But now, like you said, Art's gone. And that means that between the Codex and all of us who live dreaming of the light of Luminius, there is a memorial, I suppose, and you're one of the leaders of that. So perhaps maybe you should have something that marks you as someone who carries the legacy of the Archmage. I thought you might enjoy having this. And Athalor presents him with one of her white golden robes from the hoard of Ioth's treasure.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage, please. Do you still have that detect thoughts running?
I do.
Okay. Okay. He is really, really hurt by what you did in the dining hall that morning, because he was really hoping that you were going to have his back. After all the years that you were kind of like the jock to his nerd, and all the painful memories he has, the Green Gala invitation, that was last year. That humiliating event, that was last year.
Mm.
And the duel and just all of that. But over the course of the last year, you have been supportive, you've been intelligent, you've been somebody that he was always somewhat jealous of, and then you started treating him nicely. So it hurt him more when you did the shenanigans in the dining hall than when Garnet did.
Oh no, I'm the new villain. It was me all along.
He also is feeling very just like bitter and holding it all together. His mode right now is just to focus on sort of balling it all up and cocooning himself so he can focus on doing what must be done. And his first response to the gift is to knee-jerk reject it because of that sort of hurt trust and the admiration that he holds for you. And then his second thought is to reject it because he doesn't deserve it, because that's the Archmage's robes, and he's not the Archmage, and he'll never live up to that. And even though he's going to keep trying through all of this, nobody has his back, and nobody's listening to him, and he's too obnoxious and unfriendly and unlikable to ever be the leader that he needs to be. And because of that, Ioth's legacy is going to fail unless he does absolutely everything in his power, and even then that may not be enough. But then he looks at you and he sees sincerity in your face. And he has this panging moment seeing that look on you. Like, that's what he really wants, is this moment of kindness and affirmation and recognition from you.
I'm not asking you to forgive me or Garnet or anyone else. Andre didn't really hurt him. And I'm not asking you to stay. But I'm telling you, as someone who has the dawn running in my veins, that I think the Archmage would be proud to have someone as dedicated to his legacy as you.
That sends a jolt through him. His heart skips a beat. He blushes slightly, and he will take the robes from you and sort of hold them, fold them, almost like he's carrying a baby. Like, this is too fragile, and I can't do anything with this.
Yeah, I'd wait until you've graduated. Not supposed to have them.
There's only one thing that I know going forward, Athalor. It's that anyone who isn't with us is against us. And on that note, we're going to a break. Don't go anywhere, folks. More Book of Dawn, Ioth Academy, coming soon.
Well,